did that, knowing really you couldn't be taken out of the game, kind of let you just let it rip?
Uh, I would just say it's just confidence and working with these coaches day in day out. Um, even guys coming off the bench, we all got that confidence in each other. We all want to see the next man do well. So I think it was just the positive energy we started the game with. Coach does a real good job of showing the energy in the locker room, so it just trickles down. And I think that was a big part of it, just energy and feeding off each other.
100 points in the first game, 51% from three. How much of that can you attribute to this new system and kind of what MedEd has you guys doing for basketball?
A lot of it comes from Coach Ferognom, as best shooting coach in America. But I would say, just moving the ball, drills in practice, making the extra pass. We've been working on that for the last 6-7 months. So, we're getting used to it, and everyone's getting used to, where we're going to be on the court, on the floor. So, it's really fun to play with these guys.
As a veteran, what's it like to see a true freshman drop 26 points?
Man, I can't stop smiling for him. This is my guy right here. We hung out all summer. I really like to see him. He's put the work in. And, like I said, we all got, we got a lot of confidence in him. We know what he's going to bring every day, every practice. So it doesn't surprise me, but I'm real happy for him.
Kendall, what are your just impressions? Obviously had the exhibition under your belt, but you just played that well in a first regular season game for you.
It felt good. At first, I was a little nervous. As you said, we had to be conservative when we had 3 guards today and stuff like that. But coach just told us, make sure we play hard, bring the same intensity we do like we do in practice. We worked over going over plays and executing. That's what we did today.
You look comfortable kind of just, controlling the offense a little bit and obviously handling point guard duties. Is that something that you grew comfortable with leading up to the season?
Yeah, I feel like I've been comfortable doing that. Coach, when I first came here, coach just told me, whatever my role is to embrace it, and that's what I did today.
Anthony, what do you think is the biggest difference between Kendall and maybe some of the point guards you guys had last year? What do you think he brings that maybe they didn't?
I don't like to talk about last year a lot, but he brings a dog mindset to the whole floor. He'll pick you up 94 feet, full court. See the quick steals he gets. He's worked on his shot a ton. He can shoot that thing. He can blow by anybody. So he just brings a real savvy, real tough point guard mentality who can also score and make plays for others.
Anthony, how do you keep level-headed after a game like this? Opening night, a lot of excitement, and then you drop a lot.
Yeah. I think we got, a fair amount of experience on this team, and even our young guys are, way beyond their years. So, we just come back tomorrow, getting our walkthrough, work on what we need to for Arkansas Pine Bluff, and, like I said, we all got confidence in each other, so, performances like this won't surprise us, This is how we're supposed to be playing.
Kendall, you mentioned some nerves a little bit early. Is there anything to help settle you down, or does scoring early help, get in the game for what kind?
No, it's just more about as you said, the veterans on our team. They took me under their wing as soon as I got here and stuff like that. And then today they just told me, today is that big day, the one that count. And I just went out there and did everything I could to get a W.
Anthony, Robbie didn't put up any points, but he did put up 6 assists, including the big one of the game. What can you kind of say about his passing vision?
Oh yeah, Robbie. He was a quarterback in high school, so he has that vision, that savvy IQ. So that didn't surprise me. That was fun to watch. That made me really happy to see. So I'm expecting more of that from Robbie. That was really unselfish of him, and you couldn't even tell that he didn't score. He was gonna keep playing. So I'm real proud of him.
Kendall, when you hit that last 3 before you went to the bench, you got a standing ovation from the crowd. Just how did that feel? And did you expect yourself to be getting a standing ovation in your first career college game?
I don't know, honestly, but it just felt good. Robbie threw that nice pass to me, and after he threw that, I was like, yeah, I just gotta shoot this and make it. That's what I did.
Were you expecting that pass, or was it kind of a surprise?
No, I wasn't expecting he threw that mug behind the back. It was just, I had to shoot.
Kendall, you were diving on the floor. Nico dove on the floor a couple times. What can you say about kind of the energy you guys brought, even though it was against maybe a lesser opponent?
Every day in practice we talk about, being consistent and stuff like that. Coach Nico makes sure, whenever it's a loose ball, with the first team on the floor and stuff like that, and we worked on, he roll it out, we dive on it. That's what we did today. Every time it was a loose ball, 50-50 ball, we try to be the first one to it.
We saw a lot of that energy even late in the game. I saw there was a point where you guarded full court, and there was 8 minutes left, you're up 30. Is that a mindset that you just have, or is that something you have to keep pushing yourself to bring to the table?
Nah, that's just a mindset I have. I be joking in practice about, guarding people 94 feet, but, that's for real. If coach tell me to pick up full court, that's what I'm gonna do.
Speaking of the defense, we've kind of all focused on the offense for most of these questions, but defense really played a big factor, especially in that first half. Does that really just come down to effort, you guys buying in?
Yeah, we talk about as long as the defense is playing hard in the offense, defense is going to win. So, we were talking even at halftime, and I could just tell our intensity on defense is what got us out on that big run because, you got to play defense to get out and run and get those open threes. So, I think a lot of people, expect – we got a good offense, but at the same time, we got to show people we can defend too, and that comes from having that intensity and energy.
The defense was getting the length of the shot clock on them most of the game, but it seemed like towards the end of the shot clock they were getting up some decent looks at 3 or 50% from the field. Was that just going through the whole 30 seconds, or is that something you guys think you still need to work on?
Honestly, I feel like, it's maybe a little bit both, but more of a we need to work on that. We talked about that all week in practice about making sure we close out with a hand up, and most of the time we just closed out. We was there, but no hand up. Hand down, man down. They shot the ball very well.
Fun. I thought that thing I was most proud of tonight is our guys were really ready to play. They had great focus and great intensity, and they really played the way we wanted them to play, and that's always fun to see. And so I thought that was great. And other thing that stood out to me, I thought our ball movement was terrific at times. 21 assists, I love it. I just think it's fun to play that way. And I thought guys were sharing the ball and trying to do the right things. And, there's a little bit of letdown. There always is at some point, but I was really proud of how the guys came out and they were focused and they were ready to get after it and, carried over the things that we had done in practice. And so we're a little shorthanded tonight, and the guys stepped up and got the job done.
Nico, your first game here, you guys jump out to a 26-6 lead already. You got family in the stands. How good did it feel to kind of get that lead under your belt?
It feels a lot better than the other way, right? I know that, but no, it was great. I was really proud of the guys. You could just see it, in their eyes and the focus. I thought they were locked in, and you could see right away, hey, we were ready to play, and we dictated the game. And so yeah, that was fun. It was great to see, and I just love the way we were playing, and we just got to be able to do that for longer periods of time. But damn, a lot of guys stepped up here tonight and played well.
You mentioned a few times in the offseason that it probably really hit you once you coached that first game. What were the emotions like early on for you?
Man, it's funny. It's early, you're there, and then once the game starts, it's basketball. You know what I mean? Once the ball is tipped up and you play, it's basketball. And I've spent a lot of hours on this court. You know what I mean? Maybe in a different role and all that stuff. But yeah, it was cool. And some of that happened on Saturday too. And then today, that part where you're doing the introductions and the anthem, and you're like, hey, this is awesome, man. They pay me to do this. Do you know what I mean? It's great. And so, but really proud of how our kids played. And yeah, once the game started, you're just coaching.
Last week you said the moment's not too big for him award. It was 26.
You didn't believe me then, right? Yeah. No, it's almost like you tell him nobody'd wake him up, but it's how he's been since he's got here. He just doesn't take a backseat to anybody. Competitors, he's out there with a smile on his face. He just loves to play this game. He loves to play. He loves to compete. He's extremely coachable. You come up and you coach him, right away. Yeah, coach, I got it, and goes out there and tries to do the right things. And it's been awesome. He's got this opportunity early, and he's playing his tail off. And I know one thing: he looks pretty comfortable out there, and it's going to be hard to take him off the floor.
We have a freshman like that who's playing that mature, like you said, kind of playing beyond his years. What does that do for you as a coach to kind of just open up this offense even more?
That's great. He's got a ton of speed. He's unselfish. He defends and plays with a lot of confidence. And so does Adam. Other freshmen. Those guys that play with a lot of poise. They're strong mentally. And that's what it takes to be good. Anytime in your career, but especially early. And I think they know that we believe in them, and the teammates believe in them, and that there's a trust that they belong here. And clearly they show that. But yeah, Kendall just has that. He's a mentally tough kid and makes a turnover, makes a mistake, doesn't get down, just comes right back and keeps playing.
Did tonight solidify his role as a starter, at least temporarily, moving forward?
Yeah, I guess. It's funny. I tell you, I don't even worry about that stuff. I just you play the guys that help you win, and it's more about who finishes. But clearly, he's played extremely well, in all of our games, and start, whatever it is, come off the bench. I mean, clearly he looks like a guy that's going to play a ton for us, and I like it when he's out there. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: he's getting an opportunity and he's seizing it. You know what I mean? He's getting an opportunity early in his career to play a ton of minutes, and man, he's making the most of it, and that's what success is about. So.
You talked about the ball movement, leading up to this season a lot and a little bit already, but how much does that mean to you, and how important is it to actually see that happen?
I just think that's the way the game's supposed to be played. I mean, it's a fun game when you share the ball and you move it, and when you give it up, you can get it back, and it just breeds unselfishness. And I just think that's the way you're supposed to play the game, and hopefully it carries over on both ends of the floor. It carries over to defense too, and how you play. It's fun, and so the guys we got still work to do in that area, but I saw that tonight. I saw guys willing to share the ball, to make the extra pass, to do that, and we had several great possessions where everybody touched the ball and it moved, and I like playing that way, and I think the kids, the more they do that, the more success they have. It breeds more of it, and that's what we want.
What Kendall did, it's kind of easy to overlook how good Anthony was tonight. 8 and 9.
Oh, he's terrific.
22 points.
He's been really good. I mean, all throughout the summer, I think he's grown a ton. And the thing that Anthony can really shoot from the out, but I think his defense has been good. Saturday in the exhibition and today, I think he's really buying into that end of the floor too. And so he's playing both ends. He's playing with a lot of poise, which we like to see. I talk about a next play mentality with him. And he made shots tonight, but I thought they were good shots. Guys were moving the ball and they were open shots where he shot them in the rhythm of the offense, and it looked good coming off his hand. But he can make those, and so both of those guys, the guards were terrific tonight.
Do you expect to have JD back on Saturday?
We do. JD will be available on Saturday.
You talked about value in ball movement. What is a performance like Robbie Burwood tonight, where he wasn't shooting very well, but had 6 assists, 1 highlight reel assist?
I've never seen that behind the head pass or whatever before in practice, so he pulled that out. But it's good, Robbie's getting an opportunity too, early right now, and I think he had 6 assists tonight, and he can see the floor, when he just keeps it simple, you know what I mean, and takes open. He took some good shots tonight that didn't go in, that will go in when the game starts. But it was great. We needed him tonight, right? He needed to step up, and I thought he did some good things.
When you do get JD back, and you look at for the time left game, you look at how well your guards play. How do you figure out that rotation there, or who's starting off the bench?
We'll figure it out. I mean, here's the thing. My Guts' team, I don't know that they care. I think that they want to win, I would hope, and it doesn't matter those guys. JD Pay's going to be a huge part of what we're doing. I mean, he's a main guy for us. He can play both ends. He's been really good for us so far in the preseason. I thought he played well on Saturday, and he'll be right back in the mix, being a major contributor for us. So we'll figure that stuff. One thing is that, you have more good players who can contribute. That's the best problem you can have.
Nico, you guys shot 51.6% from downtown, but was 31 3-pointers. Was that too many, or is that something that
There probably was a little bit too many, but at the same point in time, like, I thought a lot of them were good looks. You know what I mean? Where we move the ball and guys are open and guys can do shots. I don't want to get in there if the 3 ball is such a huge part of basketball. It is. I mean, you just look at it, and if guys who are good shooters have open looks, whether it's early clock, late clock, or whatever, I'm not going to tell them not to shoot them. But yeah, hey, there's going to be games we're going to have to get score a lot more in the paint. We scored a lot more in the paint, I think, on Saturday. But today we found ourselves open, and we were making shots, and so yeah, guys who are good shooters and find themselves open want to shoot it. But yeah, I don't know that we're a team that's going to shoot that many threes every night. But I thought most of them were good looks.
Nico had 7 offensive boards, finished with a double-double, even had a double-double in the first half. What kind of renewed aggression have you seen out of him, especially in the
I don't know if it's really, Nico plays hard. I mean, he plays hard. He plays hard every day in practice. He's a competitor. He's got fire. I love that. I always talk about he plays with his hair on fire on defense and rebounding. I mean, you see him diving on the floor. That's who he is every day in practice. And just continue to get more comfortable on offense and slowing down. Offense, you want to slow down, right? Slow down a little bit. And we're working with him on that. But he is. And he just, man, I mean, that kid plays his tail off. And I got no gripes with him there. He plays with great emotion. He battles on the glass. And I mean, we've only got one Nico Garbacho.
How does that rub off on other players, including Alex?
I hope it does. I mean, you see somebody like that who's playing as hard as he is, who's hitting the floor and playing all those minutes and playing with that kind of energy. You hope it permeates down your roster and just continue to get more guys to do that. And you're right, Adam's the same way. I mean, kind of a lot of these guys I think are playing with really good energy, and that's what it takes. I mean, you got to be great at all the things that don't require talent if you want to be a good team, because you control those things. And we're still growing in that area, but Nico brings that.
Adam got knocked in the forehead, had to leave in the first half. Was there any fear that he might have a concussion, or he just needed it?
Yeah. He's taking a beating here early, but he's a tough kid, man. I mean, he just said, I'll be fine, coach, went and got stitched up and said he was ready to go. And it happens, in basketball. But he's a tough kid, and sometimes it's good to have to play through that stuff. But yeah, that's your first thought, like, oh, God, we can't afford to lose him. So, but he's fine.
No fouls in the first half. Is that a plan in the defense? Maybe
We sure had a lot in the second half. We made up for it, I'll tell you that. That was probably the thing I was the least pleased about. Instead, I thought we fouled too much. I think we were sloppy, but I don't know that I've seen that, at least. But I did think defensively we did a really good job of keeping them in front of us, taking their back. I thought we were closing out tough with our hands away, and we were forcing. Now, they made 9 threes in the first half I didn't like, but they weren't getting to the free throw line. We were keeping them in front of us. We were holding them to one shot for the most part. But you don't see that very often. I thought we got a little sloppy in the second half. We started to reach and gamble. And then you got to give them credit. I thought they got a lot more aggressive and started to put the ball on the floor and attack us in a different way. But no fouls in the first half, but boy, we made up for it in the second.
You mentioned the 3-ball. They shot 50% tonight. Pueblo shot the 3-ball well. Is that a red flag for you early?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. They shoot the ball well. Yeah, I mean, I don't want any team to shoot the ball from 3 like that. And it could be. That's a good point. It could be a red flag. I mean, our perimeter defense has to be better. I thought we let too many guys catch and shoot the ball. You know what I mean? When that's what they do. What they can do. And they made some tough ones too. They did. They made some heavily contested shots, but they're a good shooting team. And yeah, you make threes, but you can't allow a team to make that many threes. So yeah, I mean, that's fouling in the second half and allowing this team to make too many threes is an area we're going to have to get better.
Is there any concern about staying level-headed after hopefully a big game like this?
I don't think so. I hope not. I mean, goodness, especially the guys who've played and been here before. I mean, whatever. Here's the thing: you got to enjoy winning. If you don't enjoy winning for a day, like, what do you do it for? You know what I mean? You put all your time in. So you take tonight. You always enjoy winning, and the sun comes up tomorrow. It's over. You lose, you win. You got to move on quickly. We'll turn our attention to the next game. Arkansas Pine Bluff played San Diego State tough. The other night they're going to come in here with some confidence and quickly turn our attention to them. Flush it. This one's over, and get ready for Saturday.
You guys scored 100 points for the first time since 2015, your team. Does that give you confidence moving forward, considering you were so short-handed?
Yeah, again, that was great. I mean, I was concerned. I mean, they played very well up in Laramie, the other night, and so we knew we were short-handed, and some guys had to step up, and so it just, we had same thing in our close scrimmage. We've kind of had something like that, and I think that's great. And so the guys showed me something, that way, that, hey, we were short-handed, some guys had to step up, and they were mentally ready to do that. And so that, to me, that's a real positive sign that no panic in these guys that way, and they came out and they were focused and did what they needed to do.
Loudest moment tonight was when Sam Hennick made that 3 and made it 100 points. What can you say about him and his contribution?
That's cool. Those guys are such a big part of what you're doing, and they've got a tough job. They come into practice, and sometimes they got to guard. They got to run the scout team. They got to guard us running an action. Somebody goes out and practice, and quickly they've got to jump in and play multiple positions and know what you're doing every day, in practice. And so it's really fun when those guys can get out there and be a part of it. And it's fun to see, your teammates cheering for them. And so we're only as good as everybody we have on our team, and they each have a role, and it's important. And those guys love Sam, and it was fun to see him make that shot. I wish Juan could have knocked that down, So what's wrong with him? Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yep.